Local governments across the United States are struggling to contain the negative effects of the opioid crisis that killed almost 200 Americans every day last year. Hello, I'm Tyler Lowell. Onondaga County has been hit particularly hard, with the overdose rate coming in 10 points higher than the national averages. The most recent data from the county's medical examiner's office show that 43 people died from opioid overdoses just in the first half of this year. The area could be on track to meet or even exceed its 2017 death toll of 91 people. Or is there a light at the end of this tunnel? Around this time last year, Onondaga County had ranked #1 in central New York for death by overdose rates, but by the end of the year, ceded that spot to Cortland County, which reported 26.8 deaths per 100,000 people to Onondaga's 15.6. In April 2017, months before Trump's November declaration of the crisis as a public health emergency, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced $213 million budgeted to combat opioids across the state, allocating $5 million to counties specifically in central New York. With drug overdoses now the leading cause of death for people under age 50 in the United States, leaders like Cuomo are spending money to increase access to life-saving treatments like the anti-overdose drug Narcan. Addicts have less access to doctor-prescribed opiates now that providers are using stricter dispensing guidelines. And while the state's fatal overdoses from prescriptions are down, deaths from synthetic opioids like fentanyl are skyrocketing. The potent drug is even turning up in black market supplies of heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine. Earlier this week, the Senate overwhelmingly passed a bipartisan bill in a 98-1 vote aiming to curb the devastation of the crisis across the nation. Dubbed the Support for Patients and Communities Act, the bill does things like make it easier to get access to medicines that can actually treat addiction and will increase penalties for drug manufacturers that are caught encouraging doctors to overprescribe. Legislators say it won't solve all problems, but it will help law enforcement stop the flow of deadly drugs into the country's most vulnerable communities.